So today we'll further move on the collection framework in which we will discuss about some more type of the collection. One thing you need to do is after completing of this session is I will tell you a few methods, a few examples related to one and two collection class and collection methods. The task is that you will use the rest of the classes by yourself. I will explain the thing what are the differences uh, between any other type of the collection. Okay, so one type of collection we have already seen, that is array list, and uh, we have seen these number of the methods which are common to every collection class, because these methods are defined inside the collection interface, and collection interface is the supermost interface for collection hierarchy. So to add, to contain, to check that whether your collection is empty or it has any element, then we can use the method is empty. If you want to remove, then we can use the remove method. You can check the size by using the size method. So these are the methods, very few common methods which we use uh, to operate on collection. And one important point that I have already discussed in the previous session, that if anything you want to put into the collection, that must be object. You cannot put any value that is primitive. So primitive type of the value cannot be added into the collection. A list, we have seen these methods, and this is the array list hierarchy. We have already discussed this one. Now come to the code, where I will explain some more extra things. Okay, so let me write public static void main method, and I'm going to create one collection object, that is array list. Here you can see, so array list a1, or you can write al1 is equal new array list. Okay, this one. If you want to check the size, then you can check the size by the method al1 dot size. Here I can write size is plus. System.out.println. After that, I'm going to write al1 dot is empty, another method. Now add some value. So al1 dot add, and here you will pass object. So as we know that the string is object. Okay, so I'm going to create a collection of country. So we can put the country name into the array list. For example, that is India. As you will add the element into the collection, it will increase the size, and whenever you remove any element from the collection, then it will decrease its size. So the same thing we found in the data structure, in which whenever we add any node, then it will increase its size, and whenever we delete any node from the data structure, it shrink its size and it decreases its size. So if I want to add, then I can add another that is, for example, that is Sri Lanka. So as you want to add as many as number of the element, just pass the elements into it. That is, so I'll add few more. Add, that is for example USA, al1 dot add, that is Russia. And if you want to print it, then you can use system.out.println al1. So just look at the output. I'm going to run it. So here you can find that the size is 0 is empty, since this point of code we don't have any element into the collection, so it will return true. After that, we are performing an addition of the elements by add element, and here you can find that these elements are added into the collection. And look at the thing there. Here you will find that the element is added in a sequence is also maintained in it. So India was the first value. After that, Sri Lanka, then China, then USA, then Russia. So we know that the list maintain its indexes, its value position. So we can get any element, for example, al1 dot get. Okay, so you can pass the index al1 dot get index number 0. So here you will find that the index number 0 value is India. So if you want to get any value, then you can use this method. System.out.println al1 dot, and if you want to check whether any element is available into this collection or not, then you can use the contains method. And we have already seen this, but I'm writing only one more time to just revise it. So if it contains, then it will return definitely. If it is available, then it will return uh, true. Otherwise, it will return false. So yes, India is available in my collection. So far, we have seen so many methods. That is contain, contains all, add all. So these methods work for each type of collection. Either you will contain or you create any collection that is the type of set, the collection you create the type of list. So whenever you want to add any element, then you will perform the method by method add. After that, we'll see that how to get the elements one by one from the collection, and that term is called iteration. Okay, iteration means fetching the elements one by one, and for that collection provides and gives you the for loop, the extended for loop that we can use to iterate the collection. So why we can use it? Because when I was discussing about the collection hierarchy, just look at here, then you can find that in the collection hierarchy, iterable interface is available. So for each loop we can use here. So how to use the for each? Just look at the syntax. We write the for, and I have already explained this one in the array topic. Now look at the object that you want to iterate. So the syntax is something like, just look at here. We put the colon first, and the object that we want to iterate, we write at the right side. Okay, so I want to iterate the al1, and whenever this element will be iterate, one by one element will be fetched and return. So we'll see that which type of the value is available, which type of the values are available into this collection. So we know that we are adding the elements that is the type of a string, but as I told you that you can add any element that is the type of object. So as we know that the object class is the parent of all classes, so we can say that this is the type of object. This is the type of object. Even I can write like al1 dot add, okay, new integer and 1. So I can add the integer object into the array list 1. So here you can see that the objects are added and objects are in your array list. So it means it will return every time object. So whenever it will return the object, then we can store that object into this reference. So one by one, it will fetch the elements and it will return into the O. And now you can print the value of this variable. So look at the code. Shift plus 6. Okay. So one by one, I am fetching the value that is India, Sri Lanka, sorry, India, Sri Lanka, China, Russia, and the value 1. Look at the output, this one. So this is the way that you can get the elements from, and you can show the elements from the collection by using for. Another way is that we can use is by using iterator. So as we know that there is a method in a iterable interface that is called iterator. So in hierarchy, I have already explained this. In every collection, you will find there is a method that is called iterator. So look at here, whenever you call this method, then it will return the object of type iterator. So the method name is the same. Just look at here. So it will return the iterator object. Okay, java.util package and iterator it is equal ai.iterator. And in iterator, we have already seen that there are few methods that we can use to iterate. So here I'm going to write that if iterator has any next element, then it will return true. So first of all, we'll check that in collection, is there any next element is available? So if is there any element is available in your collection, then it will return true. And whenever it will return true, then your while loop will be executed. And to get the element from the collection, the method we use that is called next. Here you can see that the next method will give you the object. Sorry. So this method we can use to get the element. So to differentiate that, where is my for and where is my iterator, I'm writing this system.out.println, and now look at the output. So these values that you can see here are coming by using the iterator, and these values are by coming the for loop. So it's up to you that which mechanism you are using. So by using the iterator as well as by using the for each, you can get the element. Just tell me, is it clear? To iterate the elements from any collection, to get the elements one by one. This object is array list. Okay. Now come to one more time. Here is the slide. In list, you will find some more way that you can iterate it. So one way is to iterate, that is iterator. Another way is that we can use, that is list iterator. This is specific for the list type of collection object. And a few more methods I want to discuss, that is remove. You can remove the element by passing the index set, this method. So look at here, when I write that al1.add, so definitely it will append at the element into your collection at the last position. but I want that this value that is here is suppose xyz means anything that you want to add, but it should not be add at this at the last position. It should be added at second position and third position. So in place of add, you can write the method as set, and here you can pass the index, and after that the value that you want to add. So look at the output, that you can find that India at 0th index, XYZ at uh, that is the first index. And just look at here that at one index we had the Sri Lanka, but what we did with the code, that is set the value at the index, that is XYZ. So now you can see that there is no such object, that is Sri Lanka. So it will set the value at the index number 1. I hope this method is clear. Yes, fine. Another method that I want to show you, al1.add, and here you can use this method in which you can pass the index plus any new value. So I want to add xyz one more time. So look at the difference between set and add, that where I'm passing the same thing. So here you can see that okay, let me change this value xyz to abc. So now you can see that the ABC is added into your collection, and rest of the element will shift one index. Okay. So previously XYZ was at index number 1, but now when I write the code to add ABC at index number 1, then rest of the value is shifted one index up. Okay. So this is the difference between set and add that we use in the array list or list type. The for each loop that we are using to iterate the collection, so it will always start from 0th index and it will go at the last index of collection. The same thing is with the iterator. It will start from the 0th index and it will move uh, till the last index. So if you want that my iteration should start from a specific index, then in place of iterator you can use the list iterator. Okay, so you can use list iterator, and the method that you will use is called list iterator. Look at here, and from which index you want to start, you can specify here. I want to start from the second index. Just look at here, and when I write this code, then you can see here from the second index we are getting the value, that is XYZ, China, USA, Russia, and 1, that is integer type. But with the for loop, this is not possible. So list iterator uh, is also we can use to iterate the elements. If you want to get the sublist, then you can specify the starting index and end index. So here I'm going to get the sublist. So this is my list. Get here list. Just look at the return type. Its return type is the list. So definitely we will store into list, that is sublist of al1 dot from the index 0 to the index 3. Okay, yes, import this sublist, and now look at the iteration. So I'll iterate this sublist, delete this one, and execute. So size 0 and true, that is 0 to, okay, I'll give the index from the starting. Look at the output now. Now you can see that India, ABC, and XYZ. So from 0th index to the 3rd index. So as you can see, from 0th index, India, okay, and by the code we have changed the indexes of these values. So at index number 1 now it will be XYZ, and after that we are setting the value at index number AB1 at the object ABC. So it will look like that India, ABC, and XYZ. So in output you can see that there are 3 values, that is India, ABC, and XYZ. I can do one more thing, that just look at here. I can print the sublist. That will show you that what are the values into sublist. So you can see here the values which are in sublist are India, ABC, and XYZ. So it will get the values from 0th index to the 3rd index. Remember one point, whenever you use any method in which you pass the starting position and end position, that method could be of any type, to getting the sublist, substring, and to iterate. So the last index that you point over here, that is the 2, that denote the from where you want to start and which index do you want to go. So this index will not included into the operation. It will be excluded. The 3rd index will be excluded. So it will go from 0th index to 2nd index. Fine. So 0 to 3 means 0, 1, and 2. This 3 and 3rd index will not include into the operation. And we have already seen this. Add all, remove all. So I will not explain. We have already seen in the previous session. Next is the linked list. Just look at the hierarchy of the linked list collection class. As we know, object is the supermost class. So after that, abstract collection is a class that inherits the object class. After that, abstract list, then abstract sequential list, and linked list. This linked list implements double-ended queue. So as we know that the double-ended queue means that ends with both sides. So linked list provide the facility of the double-ended queue. So if you have any application in which you want to implement this kind of data structure, then you can use the linked list. Java linked list class uses doubly linked list to store the element, okay, and it provides a linked list data structure. Java linked list class can contain duplicate elements, definitely, because it's a type of list, so we can use the duplicate elements into the linked list. Java linked list class maintains insertion order. Insertion order means the order in which you are inserting the value, 0th, 1st, 2nd, and so on. Java linked list class is non-synchronized. It is also this class is non-synchronized. So whenever you want to write the value that is inside this object onto the file, first of all you need to maintain and you need to create the synchronization things. Java linked list class can be used as list, stack, or queue. So we can use it. Only the thing is that it provides these two facility. Store the elements and it provides the linked list data structure. Okay, so doubly linked list means we can perform the operation from both direction. Here is a quick view about the queue. As we know that the queue works on first in first out. So if anyone implements this interface, then that data structure, that collection will work on this basis. So element method by the queue that you can see here, and it extends the collection interface. Return the head of the queue. Element is not removed. Throw no such element, exception if the queue is empty. So if queue is empty and you want to get the element that is at the head, then you will get exception, that is no such element in the queue. To add any element into the queue, we use the method offer. So this will add the object to the queue. Another method is peek, work same as the element. Just look at here. This method is the element. It returns the value that is at head point. But the difference between peek and element is it doesn't throw any exception if list is empty. What it does, it returns null. So if you use the element, then it will throw the exception if queue is empty. If you use the peek method, it will return null if your queue is empty. Then after that, we use the poll. Return and removes. It perform both operation. First, it will return. After that, it will remove that element. Which element? The element which is at head point. And also, suppose you want to remove and return the element that is at the head position, but if your queue is empty, so it will return null. Remove, you can use this method to remove any element. So return and remove the head of the queue. And what happens if your queue is empty? So in this case, you will find that it will throw no such element exception. So remember the behavior of the methods. Element and p works, these two methods work same, but the difference is element will return exception, peak will return null in the case of queue is empty. Same, poll and remove works same, but the difference is poll will return and remove the element and return null. But if you use the remove method, then it may throw the exception no such element if the queue is empty. Now look at the dequeue. Dequeue extends queue. It means the methods which are available into the queue will by default available in dequeue. Declares the behavior of double-ended queue. Can be used to implement both first in first out and last in first out stack at the same time, because it is the double-ended queue. So we can implement the FIFO and LIFO. A decay implementation can be capacity restricted. You can define the capacity that it should contain any this number of the elements. So you can implement this type of thing. It also gives you some additional methods that you can use. That is add first. since this is the double-ended, so you can perform the operation like add the element at the first position, add the element at the last position, get the element from the first position, get the element from the last position, because it is double-ended. So then when you use this method, then you can add the elements to the head of double-ended queue. And if DQ is full, because we can implement the capacity restriction. So if the DQ is full, suppose you have decided that 10 elements should be in DQ, and if you want to add any element into the DQ by using this method, then it will throw the illegal state exception. And if DQ capacity is reached, add last, the same thing. We want to add the element at the last position. It will again check that the capacity, and after that, if capacity means the DQ is full, then it will throw the exception, illegal state exception. After that, if you want to get the element from the DIC, then you can use the method get first. Returns the value, but it doesn't remove the value. Get first means you will get only the value, and you will get only the thing that which object is available at the first position, but it will not remove the element, remove the first element. And if the DQ is empty and you want to get the element from the first position, so definitely there will no such element. So in that case, you will get exception, that is no such element exception. The same thing will happen with the method that is get last. So get last method will return the element which is at the last position, but it will also not remove the element. And if the DQ is empty, then you will get no such element exception. So just look at the hierarchy of linked list one more time. In linked list, you will find that the DQ is implemented. It means we will get the methods like element, offer, peek, poll, remove, and add first, add last, get first, get last. Okay, so these are the method additionally available into linked list. Some more methods. Pop returns and remove. It perform dual operation. It will return the value and it will remove the value. From where? From the head. And if your DQ is empty, so definitely it will throw no such element exception because your DQ is empty. So no element could be popped. Boolean offer first. So add the element at the head. Okay, so we are offering the element to add at the first position. So it will return true or false. So we can understand that we can restrict the DQ. So if the DQ is full, then it will return false because the element will not get added. Same way, the method offer last. So you can add the element at the last position and return false if capacity of your DQ is reached. Another version of the peek method is peek first. So it return but doesn't remove. You will get the value that will be at first position, and return null if your DQ is empty. Same peek last. It will return the value from the last position, and if your DQ is empty, then it will return null. And another method is poll first, return and remove. So it will return and remove the first element of the DQ and returns null if DQ is empty. So these are the methods which are frequently in use when we go and write the application. So I'm not saying that this is only these are the only methods which are available into DQ. When you will go and see, there are so many methods are available, but these methods are frequently we use in our application to perform the to write the code. Poll last, just look at here. Poll first, return and remove. So poll last will also do the same, return and remove. So poll first will remove the element from the first, but last will remove the element from the last. And return null if DQ is empty. So same thing will happen with the poll last. It will return, remove and return the element from the last position. It returns null if your DQ is empty. We can add the element by push. Add to the head of the queue. Throw illegal state exception if capacity of DQ is reached. Remove first. Returns and remove the head. No such element exception throw if DQ is empty. Remove last, same as remove first. The difference is it will remove the element from the last position. As we know that we can add duplicate values, okay, into the collection. So suppose you have more than one object of the same type, and you want to remove any element that occurs very first time in your collection. So you can use the method remove first occurrence, and you can pass the object. So whenever that object will be find into your DQ at the very first time, then it will remove that element. Remove the first occurrence of the given object, return false if it is not a member of the DQ. Or suppose you pass any object that is not available into the DQ, then it will return false. And in the same way, if you want to remove the last occurrence, suppose you have three objects with this three same objects in the DQ, and you want to remove the object which is available at the end, at the last, okay, which occurrence is at the last. So you can call the method remove last occurrence. So this is the method that is DQ, and since this is the interface, so you cannot create the object of DQ, but yes, we can create the object of DQ type. We cannot create the object of DQ direct, but we can create the object of DQ type. And we know that the DQ is implemented into the linked list, so it means we can create the object of the linked list. So here, come to this code. I'm going to create one object of the linked list. Linked list list one is equal new linked list. Okay. And if I want to add any element, just remove this. So list one dot. This is the method. List one dot. Now look at here. You can call the method add, it will add the object. You can call the method add, and you can pass the index where you want to add the object. Add all, we have already seen, and these four methods we have already seen. Add first, as I told you, these methods are coming from the queue. So you can use this method and it will add the object at this beginning of the list. Add last, it will add the element at the last position. First, I'll add some element, for example, A. List one dot add the element B. Now print the value list one, and you can see A at 0th index and B is at the second index. After that, I'm going to call list one dot add and add the element at first. Which element? That is Z. And after adding this element, I'll check the list one values. So you can see the value is added at first position. Since it's implements DQ, that's why we can use these methods. Now, what is the task that I'm going to assign you? I have already discussed the methods, and I have already explained that how to create the objects of interface, that is array list and linked list. The only thing you need to do is you will create your own object of the linked list and use all the methods. Only you need to call the methods by that object. This is not possible to use all the method in a session and to show you. So I have already explained the methods. If you get any error, if you are not getting any output as per your understanding, then you can ask me. But first thing you need to do is you need to use all the methods by yourself. So these two classes, one is your array list and second one is your linked list. So you can use in your application. Just tell me. I hope list is clear to everyone. List means array list and linked list. So can you do this operation by yourself? Good, good. I'm not getting the response. Okay, fine, good. And what about Hinduja? Actually, the collection framework is very easy. The hierarchy is, we can say that, a little bit complicated and complex. But the methods and the implementation that is already done by the Java developer, and why they have already created it, because they want that we should use the collection framework in very easy way. So the hierarchy you will find it's a little bit complicated, but the use of the array list in application is very easy by using these methods. So only the thing you have to remember the methods. And one time if you do the practice, then whenever that kind of the situation comes in your application, then where you want to add the element in certain criteria, that I want to add the element at the first position, I want to delete from the particular index, I want to add the element from at the end of the uh, list, then you will go and you will call back the methods. Okay, I have already used these type of the methods previously in any collection, then I can definitely implement this method in my code. So only thing is you need to do one time, just write the code and implement these methods by yourself. Now come to the set collection. What is the set type of the collection? You will find the set type of the collection in all is also available in util package. Few differences between set and list. One is declares the behavior of a set. Set means a collection that doesn't allow duplicate elements. So in set, we have unique elements. We cannot add or we cannot have the duplicate values. And set will also have a method add, by which we can add the element into the set collection. If the value that you want to add is already available into the set, then what happened, that new value will not add it into the set, because set doesn't allow to add the duplicate elements. So in that case it will return false. And add like list set doesn't declare its own methods. This interface doesn't have its own method. Now, which class we can instantiate of the type of set? So hash set is a class that can be instantiated, and it will give you the feature of the set. So here is the hierarchy that you can find, java.lang.object. After that, abstract collection, abstract set, then hash set, and it implements the set. And Java hash set class is used to create a collection that uses hash table for storage. Hashes store the elements by using the mechanism called hashing. If you know the hashing, then it is very good. If you don't know that what is hashing, just go and search, and you will find an article. Just go through it. You will understand that what is mean by hashing. So the value that is stored by the hash set is on the basis of hashing. And since it is a subclass and it is a type of set, so definitely it won't contain duplicate element. It will have only the unique elements. So come to the code for the implementation. So here I'm going to create the object of the hash set. HS is equal new hash set. Add the element HS dot add. For example, that is India. HS dot add. Another is that is Sri Lanka. Then HS dot add. Another country is China. One more time, I'm going to add that is HS dot add, and here is India one more time. Fine. And now print the value. So system.out.println, I'll print the value of hash set and look at the output. So you can see here that only 3 values are available into your hash set. The fourth element that I want to add is India, and this object is already available into the hash set. And one more thing, the hash set is not maintain the insertion order. Insertion order is not maintained by the hash set. So if you want to get the element by using the index, so you cannot perform that operation into the set hash set. So we say that for the hash set, it is unordered. It is unordered. The order in which we want to add the elements are like India, after that Sri Lanka, then China. But when we are getting the values, you can see the values are not in order. So a hash set doesn't maintain the order. So you cannot access the value by using the indexes. Similarly, to iterate the elements, you can use the iterator. You can create the iterator object. Since every collection has the iterator method, so we can call the iterator, and while look at here, iterator dot has next element, then get the value from the object that is next, and here you can see one by one all elements can be fetched. And this is the feature of set. So suppose you are creating an application and where you want that this collection where your client or anything added some element, then that element should be uniquely added. So in that case, you can use the hash set. you can use the set. Next is linked hash set. It provides two things. Linked hash set. So look at the hierarchy. java.lang.object abstract collection. After that abstract set, then you can see that hash set, and after that linked hash set. It means it performs the operation of hash set as, and it adds the linked list feature also. So Java linked hash set class is a hash table and linked list implementation of the set interface. Provides all optional set operation and permits null elements. You can add the null element into the linked hash set, and it maintain insertion order. Okay, so in linked hash set, it maintains the insertion order. So use it, linked hash set. Just note down, you need to create the object of the linked hash set, and after that, you need to add, and you can get the elements. The methods are same: add, remove, iterator. The only difference between the hash set and linked hash set is it maintains the insertion order. You can add the null element, and it also provides the linked list implementation. Another one is called a tree set. Okay, so Java tree set class implements the set interface that uses a tree for storage, contains unique elements only like hash set. Access and retrieval time are quite fast. So with respect to the hash set, tree set is fast. It uses it maintains something that in which the values are added into the ascending order. So it maintains the ascending order. So we can say that it is unordered, but sorted. Unordered and sorted means, just look at here. If I create the tree set object, tree set ts, and here I'm going to create one more object. Sorry, this is the tree set. And if I add some value, tree set dot add, and add the value b, tree set dot add, and add a value x, method is add, and here is ts. Delete this iteration, the same. And if I see, then b and x is you can see here. So you can say that b is added first and x is added last. That's why it maintains the order. I'm going to add one more element, that is a to it. So you can see the values are in sorted order. Okay, so we can say that the value which we are adding into the tree set, so it should be like, it should be at 0th index, this one, it should be at 0th index, it should be at the first index if it maintains the order, but it doesn't maintain the order. So we can say that it is unordered but sorted. It is unordered and it is sorted. So if you want that in application, that whenever we add any new element into the collection, then that collection must have unique element and the order must be maintained, or you can say the values should be in ascending order, then we can use the tree set. So this kind of the situation whenever comes in your application, then you can use this tree set. So this is all about the collection hierarchy that we have seen: array list, linked list, hash set, tree set, linked hash set. The methods are common to all, and if you have practiced for one class, then you can use those methods with different classes. Yes, tell me. Any doubt? Any question? No. What is the feature of linked list, Meng? So when we talk about the hash set and linked hash set, so it's a combination of hash set plus linked list. So it is not same as the sorted set. Because in linked list we can add the element from both direction, as we know that. So when you will implement this by your code, then you will get the difference. Yes, ma'am. Any other question? Yes, definitely, ma'am. The next topic I was going to discuss, that is map. Okay, don't worry. As I said earlier, that I will try to cover all the collection thing that is important to write the code. And if I talk about the collection only, then you will find that there are so many concrete classes are available, like vector, and you can create the object of the stack. But if you have the knowledge of the array list, linked list, set, hash set, linked hash set, tree set, so you can handle any kind of the collection object. So the thing which is required, just I'm telling you everyone, the thing which is required to learn the collection and to implement the collection is only remember the methods. Only remember the methods. If you have remember the methods, and if you know that which method perform the which type of the operation, then you will not get any problem anytime. So yes, the next topic that I'm going to discuss with you is map. So what is map? Just look at here. Map means when you put any value, then you will put that value with corresponding key. Okay, so if I say that when we create any array list, okay, and we want to access the elements from the array list, then we can access the elements by the indexes, isn't it? So we can say that the index is a key that we provide, and with respect of that index we get the value. So we can say that the 0 is a key for that value. We can say that, we can assume that. So in map, what we do, we provide the indexes in the form of keys, okay, by ourselves. The keys will be provided by the developer, by the coder, and the value that is with respect of that key will write. So here you can say that the map is a key value pair element, key and value. And as we know that if we compare or we take the reference as the indexes, then you will find that the index won't be duplicate, isn't it? The index will be 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So in the same way, remember this point, whenever you create any map object, key must be unique. Key must be unique. The value could be duplicate. So on different indexes, you can store uh, the same value. So it won't ask you that why you are adding the same element at the different index. So here, the key must be unique. Value could be duplicate. So in map, store the key value pairs. Each key and value pair is known as entry. So to add one entry, we will provide two things. One is key and second one is the value. Both key and values are object. Definitely, it's a part of the collection. So whenever you want to add any element into the map, then that element must be object. Keys are unique, but value may be duplicate. And map doesn't extends iterable. Remember this one. Okay, so we cannot use direct iterator and for each with the map object. But indirectly we can use, but direct we cannot iterate by using the for each and iterator. This is the map hierarchy. Just look at here. So these are the classes for which you can create the object, that is hash map and tree map, and these are your interfaces. Hash map and linked hash map allow a null key and the values. Tree map doesn't allow any null key or value. The difference between this. So you can add the null into hash map and linked hash map, but in tree map you cannot add the null. Map cannot be traversed, so you need to convert it into set using the method that is called key set or entry set method. So as I said, that the map doesn't extend. Okay, so fix it. Fix it, Hinduja, and if you are not able to fix it, then I will upload and you can watch the video. And after that, if you get any problem, then you can ask me. Now, the map, okay, sure. Map cannot be traversed. Why? Because this map doesn't extend the interface iterable. So what you need to do is, first of all, we'll convert the map into set. And to convert into the set, we use the method key set and entry set. And after that, if this gets converted, then you can iterate the set. Okay, and we have already learned that how to iterate the set, so there will be no problem. Some important methods. Clear will clear your map to check that whether the particular key is available in your map. Then you can use contains key method. So here you can pass the key, and if that key is available, it will return true. If you want to check that value is available in your map, then you can use the method contains value. And as I said, if we want to iterate, then we can first convert into the set by using the entry set method. So you can convert this into the set, and after that you can iterate. What is the map.entry? I will explain. To get the value, v stands for the value from the map, we use get method, and here we pass the key. Okay, if you remember, there is a method in ArrayList that is get. Okay, so there we pass the indexes, but here we will pass the key. To check whether your map is empty or not, then you can use isEmpty method. Key set to use convert your map into the set. Now there is a method that is called put. Put method is used to add a new key value pair into the map. Okay, we don't use the add method to add elements into the map. To add a new element into the map, we use put method. Fine. So add a key value pair overrides any previous value associated with the key. Returns null if key didn't already exist. Otherwise, previous value with the key is returned. So what is mean by put? Let's start with the map implementation. Let's create object of the map. So we can create hash map object. Hash map is equal new hash map. Right? We cannot use the method add. We will use the method put. First, you will pass the key. I'm going to pass the key as 1. The value that you want to add, you will pass here. Okay. So here I will pass the value as India. hm.put, the index that is 2, and the value that I want to pass as any other value. Okay. So what this method does, just look at here, add a key value pair to your map, overrides any previous value associated with the key. So these are the key that is already available, and which with these key some values are associated. If I print the value, just look at here, system.out.println, and if I print the hash map, so look at here, one is India and second one is China. Fine. Now look at here, hm.put, and I am performing the operation that is with the key 2, add a new value that is USA, and after that, now getting the value from hash map. Now look at the output. You can see here, one is India, second is China, but after adding a new element into the hash map, it will override the value which is associated with the key 2 to the new value. Look at here. Now with 2, it is USA. One more. Returns null if key did not already exist. So to check what is the return type, I'm going to write here system.out.println. So it will return the return type. Look at here. Run it. So you can see that null. Why? When I was adding the value India with the key 1, there is no key 1 is previously available in my hash map. Okay, so this will happen with the same with this key and value. Now this key is already available and want to add a new value. So in this case, what happened? Just look at here. It will give you the value that is previously associated with the key. Look at here. That you can see it will return the value that is going to be replaced. That is China. And it will tell you that, and we can check that if it is not null, then it means the value is going to be replaced. So if the key is already available and it has some associated value and you want to put the new value, then it will return the previous value associated with that key. So otherwise, a previous value with the key is returned. If you want to remove any element, you can remove the element by passing the key. To check the value from the size of your map, you can use the method size. And if you want to convert the map into the collection, then you can use the method values. So one by one, just look at the method. Here, hm.remove, and if I pass the key as 1, and after that I will get the detail about hash map, just look at the output. Then you can see that 1 is removed, and 1 means the we are providing a key, and with the associated this any value that is associated with the key will also remove. Just wait, I'm getting a call. Just wait. That if you want to remove any value from the hash map, then you can pass the key. So the whole key value pair will be removed from your hash map. So you can use the method remove. Another one is the size. To get the size of your map, you can use the method. So I'm not going to remove any value, just getting the size by calling the method. So here you can see that is 2. If you want to convert into the collection, then you can call the method values. hm.values, and it will return the collection. Collection C is equal this one. And if you see the output, what are the values in your collection C, then you can find that only the values, not the key. So if you want to make and you want to get all the values which are available in your map, then you can use the method values, and it will return only the values, not the key. To get all the keys, okay, you can use the method set s is equal hm dot key set. So this will return only the keys into S. Just look at here, system.out.println. Here I'm writing keys are plus set. So keys are 1 and 2, and values are, by getting the method values, you can get the values. So if you know the keys, then you can definitely iterate it. Why? Because if you want to get any value, then you can use the method get, and you will pass the key. So I'm going to create I'm going to put some more value into map. That is 3 with the value 4 with new value 5 Here is your this one. Okay, execute. So there are 5 elements. Keys are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Values are India, China, Sri Lanka, USA, and Australia. If you want to get any value, then you can write the method and you can call the method like hm.get. And here you need to pass only key. So keys are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I pass 3, just look at what we are getting. So with the key 3, the Sri Lanka is associated. Look at the code. With the key 3, the Sri Lanka is associated. What if we pass any key that is not available? That is 6. Okay. So it will return null because that value, that key is not available. So definitely the value will also not available with that key. So you will get null. So to get the value, we will use the get method and we can pass the key. Now look at this key set. This will return all the keys which are available in your map. And set can be iterated by using the for. So it will be object key colon s. So this will be iterate one by one. It will return one by one keys into the key. And here, if we want to get all the elements, you can call the map and call the method get, and you can pass the key. So you will get all the values. Look at the output. So India, China, Sri Lanka, USA, Australia. So direct you cannot iterate the map, but if you want to iterate any map, then first you need to convert into the set by using the key set, and it will return all the keys which are available in your map. And after that, you can iterate this one by one. You will get the keys, and you can pass those keys into the get method of map, and you will get the corresponding values. So we can print like key is equal comma plus key plus value is equal plus shift plus F6. Then key is 1, value is India. Keys 2, value is China. Keys 3, value is Sri Lanka. So you can get all the values. I hope this hash map is clear. Similarly, if you have already one map and you want to add all the entries from that map into the new, then you can call the put all. This is similar to the add all method of collection interface. Get key, get value, and set value. So you can get the keys of your map.entry if you use it, and get value by using the method get value, and set value by using the set value. Map.entry, where we use it, just look at here with the example. If you use this key set, then it will return the set. One more method that you can use to convert into the set is called entry set. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. Set s is equal hash map dot method is entry set, and it returns a set. And if I call, just look at here, then you will understand. Entry set, this will return a set which will be the type of map.entry. Okay, this bracket shows that which type of the value will be inside this set. So inside this set, the values will be type of the map.entry. So if I iterate this, then I can write map.entry x colon s. Okay, and here I will write map.entry. Okay, this one. So now your S will be iterate and it will return the object of the map.entry type. And map.entry provides the method, just look at here. Map.entry provides method get key and get value that you can use. System.out.println, here is the X, that is the object of type map.entry. So I can write value, sorry, first write the key plus X dot get key. It will return the key plus value plus X dot get value. And here the output. Key is 1, value is India. Key is 2, value is China. So you can iterate this map by using the entry set also. So this is a way that we can use the map in our application. Map is basically a key value pair data structure in which we pass a key and the corresponding associated value. This is the hash map that you can see here. The K and V that is written inside the angular bracket. I will discuss this one also, but right now just look at the basic examples. I hope this is clear to all of you. This is not this is not the end of the collection and the map. When you will go and develop the application, when you will go and you do the practice, then you will learn more. So this is all about the collection and map. In the next session, I will discuss the thing that is written inside the angular bracket, like E, like K and V. So I hope till now, it is clear to all of you. Yes, tell me, any doubt? Okay, fine. So that's all for today. We'll learn some more thing in the next session. Okay. Thank you for joining this session. Bye-bye.